And so I begin the last mission for the Sin of Damnation campaign.
The samples of the unknown life form are secure with Brother Lorenzo and his squad, but to escape they will need to find a way onto the outside of the space hulk, where gunships will be waiting. The chapter has lost many heroes to bring us to this point, and now this last victory rests on a blade's edge. In this, you must not fail. The Emperor demands victory. Honor demands victory. And our dead demand victory. Sergeant of the squad, accept your orders. Only one squad is available. You will deploy your Terminators here. The enemy is all around you. A broodlord is active in this area. Move your force to this location. The closest exit point is through a ventilation shaft on the lower level. Honor the sacrifice of your brothers, that their names will live in glory.
Alright, so this is Pitfall, and from the gist of it, with the guys spawning here and our guys spawning there, this is in many ways going to be kind of like a Left 4 Dead escape type of sequence. You're basically going to be battling guys all the way to the exit, and are going to be constantly swarming you. I'll note, by the way, that this mission, unlike the other missions, I've actually seen someone play the first 11 missions. This mission is completely blind. I have no idea how to, sort of get through this game, or this mission's, gameplay and how it's going to work. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue, but I assume this will be, the hardest mission of them all, so there's that. Alright, so some missions are fought on 2 maps, one above the other. These levels are connected by ladders. A Terminator may use a ladder at a cost of 2 APs, a Genius List may use it at a cost of 1 AP. To use a ladder, first move a Terminator to a tile with a ladder, and use the ladder icon will appear on the action menu. Clicking to ascend, blah blah, attacking from one floor to the other is possible if both commanders stay on the ladder tile. So, I just want to note basically from this mission, this is basically a very special mission. We have to think about basically the fact that there's basically going to be guys above us and below us at any given time. And just basically these ladder icons that I sort of have to deal with. So, this is one of the escape points over here. And this one's one over there. And if we look closely, we got a downstairs ladder over here that I have to sort of worry about. Right now, the Gene Slayers are only spawning up here, I guess, and over there. So they're only spawning in the upper level for the moment. I think. And I sort of have to deal with ladders just being all over the place. Alright, we're going to try and book it to this one over here. It looks like there's ladders here, 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 and here. I'm going to have to go at least by 2 ladders at any given point. But first things first, we sort of have to think about getting our guys out. Looks like I've got the minigunner, the Claudio guy, I've got Lorenzo, and I've got the librarian. So I've got the 4 pretty much most powerful, except for this guy, guys to begin with. We're going to start with... let's put the librarian right here. We'll put the squad leader right there, you right there, and you right here. We're just going to deploy these 4 guys. And what do you know, this guy's actually got hot barrels to begin with. So I just want to note, this guy, you can note that this guy's got hot barrels because these are sort of hot already to begin with. He's also got less ammo. And we're going to reroll this immediately. Wow, that's perfect. So we're not only going to be starting a very difficult mission, but we're going to have no ammo, and this guy's going to be, loaded hot. Alright, so here's the sort of plan. I sort of have to get these guys out as soon as possible, and I have to watch for the stairs, so, Gene Slayers can come up the stairs at any given time, be an issue with them. Okay, so I'm going to have this guy open this door. And I want to get him, I guess, here. Now I just want to test something, but force barrier. So I note that I can put force barriers over here. I can't put any on the below level, so this guy, the Striker is basically using the force barrier to sort of blockade stuff and all that. It's not going to be as effective on, this level as a result of, the fact that there's just no real room for it. Okay, this guy's gonna go this way. Let's have the minigunner follow Lorenzo, I guess. And you're just gonna go up here. So this is going to be a very crappy first turn because I didn't really get out the door too well, but oh well. Gene Stealers, take your turn. Okay, so we're spawning at the lower level there. He put his blip right there to the stairwell. And there's, his blip right there. So his blip is on the stairs. I think I actually spawned 3 blips and one down there that, he just couldn't move up. Because, just couldn't move up. Alright, so our plan here, I have to watch for him to coming up the stairs, and I have to watch for him coming up the, the other stairs over there as well. You are going to go here. You're going to turn. And I didn't actually mean for him to do it like that. We want to actually shoot at this door. So turn and shoot that door. And he failed. So note the stairs right there, or that ladder rather. I have to watch for this guy possibly coming up the ladder right away, so that's going to be an issue. There's also this ladder over here that I have to watch out for. What we're going to do, we're going to put this guy in Overwatch right here, and he's going to try and guard the stairs. So, Castatarius is going to basically drop his force barrier right there. And he's going to basically wander to here, I guess. And it's just going to go like this. I could have used Leon to basically come over here and basically deal with that guy for guarding it, but because he can possibly explode, we're going to try and only use him as little as possible in emergency situations, so to speak. Claudio, you're basically going to get up over here. And turn. And this guy's just going to go over Overwatch right here. So force burst won't be as effective, but it doesn't mean they will be ineffective, so to speak. Okay, and turn. So yeah, he spawned that guy there, spawned that guy there. And there's that guy there. So these guys, they basically popped up the stairs. So I've got to worry about them. This guy's apparently going for this ladder, but he's not yet on top of it. And then there's a blip on the above here that I have to sort of worry about. Alright, so the plan. We're going to have these guys move here. I actually want him to shoot that door on the way. So he'll do that. And we're going to drop another force barrier right there. Now, this is very dangerous, but I'm going to actually have this guy move and shoot at this door. So he's going to move to here. He blew up that door and cost 1 ammo, but that means that the door is now open for Lorenzo to shoot through. So you can go here. And then you're going to go here. What we're going to do with these guys now is just move them all, basically 1, 2, and Claudio is going to move here. Now this is kind of dangerous, but I'm going to have Lorenzo move up to here and basically go on Overwatch. This will put him literally right next to this guy who's about to pop up, but at least he's going to be facing him, so he has a better chance of killing him in melee if, he at least got that far to basically jump on top of Claudio's back here. So we're just going to end our turn here, and hopefully Lorenzo can hold off this one Gene Stealer and that guy there too. You got that guy. Up the ladder he went. And they got that guy too. So, good job, Lorenzo. You kicked some ass and did well. Reroll. Nice. I have stuff to work with. Alright, so I've got both of these ladders up here, so don't worry about that one up there. I've got this guy right here. And... okay, so I've only got this guy down here and the two guys that are already spawned. What I'm thinking about doing here... we're going to move Terminators maybe to this ladder. And the reason I'm going to move him to this ladder is so he's on the bottom level, so he can deal with the guys, you know, on the bottom level, like force barriers and such. I don't think he can, like, you know, be as effective up here. This is like one of the things about thinking about, you know, the ladders, so to speak. They can be used by the Gene Stealers to avoid cover, but I can also go down them to deal with the guys as well. Maybe we'll send you up to here then. Because I sort of mistake this for a door. Ah well. He's already out on top of it, so he's just going to open and go through. Okay, so he's going to go right here. And here's what we're going to do with Leon. He's basically going to try and deal with these guys here. So go there. He's going to basically shoot and fire at this first guy. And hopefully not explode. One guy's dead.
Drive them back.
Two guys are dead.
Drive them back.
So that's done. Claudio's going to get over here. And I've got to worry about this guy down here. So he's on this ladder right now. And due to the fact that he's on that ladder, he can come up that ladder. What we're going to do, I think, we're going to drop a force barrier on this ladder and see if this works. I'm going to see if I can maybe just block him from coming up the ladder. And then, you know, this guy can like start turning and getting over here. Okay, you're going to move here. I don't need to watch this ladder so much just because I'm moving my guys away from it. I'm actually thinking about possibly avoiding this ladder actually and just going straight to this, you know, the way over here. So, you know what, let's have you shoot that door. And he failed miserably. And we're just gonna move these guys like one here. Move you one here.
Yes, Commander.
Move you one there. That guy's unable to get up the ladder because I put a force barrier there, so it blocked him from going up. Terminators has opened his door and starts shooting. So 1, 2, 3. Well, that sucked. Luckily, though, the Gene Stealers, they haven't had very good rolls, and apparently they haven't had a chance to spawn Broodlords yet. That's kind of nice, at least. You're just going to follow along. I'm going to turn. Now, the Gene Stealers, they only move at 6 AP, and they take 1 AP to go up a ladder. So this guy would take 1 to go up here, and he'd have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get up there, so he can't reach those guys from down here. And pretty much the same with this ladder over here. As a result, what I'm thinking about doing here, we're just going to try and book it. So we're actually going to use precedence to sacrifice one side for that purpose. We're going to go up to here. Awesome. And I could make him escape right now, but what we're going to do instead is just have these other guys just sort of, you know, funnel along as fast as possible. By the way, there's the ladder icon to get down if I want to.
Clear a path.
Okay, end turn. Arguably, I shouldn't have used the librarian there, but whatever. Oh, there's the Brewlord. So he's got the Brewlord in play finally. He's in play. Alright, I got a fairly good dice roll here. So I'm thinking about more or less doing the same strategies before. Presidents. And we're basically going to book it. So you're going to get up to here. You're going to get up to here. You're going to get up to here. And they can't escape this turn, but we can get most of the guys out that I need to. Actually, you know what? We're going to have this guy move here instead. He's more or less safe from anyone touching him, I think. So... yeah, I don't see any Brewlords down here. Or, you know, I don't see any Gene Stealers right down here. The Brewlord's right there. So I'm not too worried about these guys sort of getting to me. This guy's fine here for the moment. Claudio, you're just going to book it out because I don't really care about Lee guys. Guess get rid of you. Let's have Leon just get up to here. Lorenzo, you're going to book up to there. And maybe we'll move you up to here. And you can just move up to there. So I have to escape with like 3 surviving Terminators. Well, we've already got one guy out, and we only need to get one guy more, so we've almost got it there. So they're just going to try and follow along, but they can't really catch me because I've already made, you know, too far out. And there's really no point to do anything else, just to get out. 1, 2, and I got all the campaign achievements, by the way, because I went back for them.
The Thunderhawk has located your signal. Many of our brethren have given themselves for this victory. Through their sacrifice, the Blood Angels have restored our honor and reclaimed the blood of our Primarch. They bring honor to the chapter, and their names will live in glory.
Hooray! So, very, very quick mission. And that's basically it for the Sin of Damnation campaign. Alright, so I guess at this point I should probably just give a quick little sort of exit, you know, thing. We're just going to go here and just knock off the music. Alright, so I've basically played through Space Hulk, and here's like some, like, you know, finishing thoughts before we basically just, you know, basically not come back to this game. I'm not going to continue this game for a simple reason that because my computer seems to crash every so often with the gameplay here. That's just something to note. I want to note that apparently some people have complained that apparently this game is a little bit iffy. It wasn't really optimized for everyone's system, that, you know, the very system that people could play. In my case, I'm playing Windows XP, or I'm playing on Windows XP here, and my computer is fairly old at this point. I might also have some out-of-date drivers and stuff like that, so that may be contributing to Space Hulk not working as well on my computer. But for the most part, as like some maybe put out in one of their like review articles, it's not really rocket science. They're basically adapting a board game to a PC. It really shouldn't be that hard, so to speak, to make it work. And it's kind of, you know, a detriment to the game that the developers probably should have done more work trying to just optimize it for everyone's game, or everyone's system for the game. I will note, however, that for the most part, I'm fairly confident that this was a fairly good game outside those, like, you know, technical issues. Someone had complained, for example, that it was really to the detriment of the game that they made it so that you couldn't really, like, you know, they made it so all the actions that, like, the Gene Stealers did and all the Terminators did, they had an action for every single move they sort of did, and it would take a while to sort of play the game. But eventually, the developers, they came in here and they basically went in, and for the gameplay, they made it so that you can change the animation speed so that, you know, you could be, like, fast or slow. You could turn off the action camera and all this other stuff. And that really helps, like, to sort of, you know, spruce up the game so that it's, like, more playable for players who want more quicker games and stuff like that. So that's a good thing they sort of did. They also how can I say it? Because they like sort of made it so that it was like an isometric view, though it was still 3D animations. They did a very nice job in sort of like beautifying the thing so that you can actually make a door. Like a door looks like a door, a ladder looks like a ladder. You don't have any issues, perhaps like not understanding that this is a door right here. This is a this is a ladder to go up or whatever else you shoot to get out. They did a very good job at making it so everything was identifiable by the icons. And as a result, a player, like me, who's never played Space Hulk before, I know where all the little doodads are. And, if I was like playing like the board game, that may not be the case because sometimes the board game is a little bit harder to see the doors. And as a result, you can have a little bit of issue with that. So good on them for at least making it very understandable for all the icons and all that. One thing I guess I'll throw out a bit about the game is that it's great that I sort of played through the Space Hulk, but something I'm not really a big fan of is the fact that they basically have DLC, 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 DLC. I understand that they have to sort of make a buck out of this sort of game, but for the most part, it's just like I like threw some money at this, like so I try it out, and I enjoyed some good fun while I wasn't crashing, but. In many ways, like if I want to play, say, with our people, I need to buy like the Highbringer Torment campaign. So this game doesn't have natural co-op with it, if unless you actually play like the Highbringer Torment here, which actually costs more money to basically play. So in many ways, this game has a few flaws with it. In sort of how you have to purchase the game and like the technical operations of it, and that sort of like takes away from the overall aspects of what's good about the game as well. In many ways, I think that they probably should have just bundled the entire thing together. They do have a sales rate to bundle all the DLCs together, but they probably what I prefer they probably would have done was just make it like we'll sell you this thing maybe at a higher cost than what they're selling it now, and then we'll just add on the DLCs as they sort of come. Now I will note something then a little about the gameplay itself just before finishing with the little blurb here. The AI honestly wasn't that great, but it's actually not a bad thing that the AI is not that great. One thing that I really like about board game adaptations to video games like this is that having a weaker AI actually lets a new player learn the game a lot easier. So I can be, if I was like new, I could learn how to get by the AI. First and foremost, sort of learn some similar concepts, and then eventually I can go into multiplayer here and play against a friend. By playing the campaign first, I can get sort of a feel of like how to play the game and learn about it without being thrown into the fire, so to speak, playing against someone else. Human players obviously are going to be a whole lot more adept at this game, and just having a very basic grounding from the AI in a single player, that's a fairly good way to sort of immerse you into the game. Now, something to note then is about the multiplayer. The multiplayer is what Space Hulk is going to be all about if you're playing this game. The multiplayer wasn't really done that well, I don't think. The hot seat, for example, just to go into it, where you play against a local friend. One of the things about the hot seat version, so to speak, is that when you jump into hot seat, how can I put it? You can basically see how many gene stealers are in that blip that your friend basically put down, or you can see how many command points that the Terminators have. So hot seat sort of requires an honor system for it to work. It doesn't really work in this game that well. The only good thing I can say about hot seat is that it's good for testing out the game. So with hot seat, I was able to learn a little bit about the gene stealers without having to play against another player. I could learn that gene stealers can sidestep for 1 AP, and that how they sort of like run and all, they move and all that. So hot seat is good for learning, but it's not really great for like the multiplayer aspect against a live human player. The multiplayer, just to sort of jump into this, the thing about the multiplayer is that there's really no one on at any really given time, and in many ways I don't think they did a really good job in like sort of having like the games for multiplayer. Generally with like multiplayer, it's going to be a friends only type of game, and I guess that's sort of true for the board game. But if you're playing like this game and you want to play multiplayer, what's the purpose of it if the multiplayer isn't really good? If I can say buy a multiplayer, or not this multiplayer, if I can buy a board game, like the actual board game for Space Hulk, and play with my friend that way. The multiplayer, it just really wasn't that fun to say against random people. It's good against your friends, and if you're playing like against like a friend that's like, in my case, I have a friend who lives in California. I can play with him in multiplayer mode for this, and it works fairly well. But it doesn't really work against random players that well, and that's another detriment sort of through the game. So there's a lot of aspects to this game. It was it's a very basic adaptation, but it leaves a lot to be desired. If you're a fan of Space Hulk, I say buy it. If well, I guess I shouldn't say that. If you're a fan of Space Hulk and like the Warhammer 40k universe, and if maybe you have some friends in like some odd places that are like not in the vicinity of where you're playing, where you can play a board game with them, this is a good buy. But I wouldn't buy it probably outside of that. In many ways, people have complained, like the 40k people who played this game have complained that it's not a great game, and they wouldn't suggest buying even to a Warhammer 40k person. But it's just like one of those games that it does have it's sort of like niche that you can sort of make out up for it. Anyhow, that's going to be it then for Space Hulk. I won't be doing any more episodes for it. I hope you've enjoyed the little board game series that I did for it, and maybe in the future I'll find another type of board game that I may like that was adapted to a game like this. For now, take care and hope you enjoyed.